Hello friends, this is Jasu Bakuhatsu, and welcome back to Let's Play Azure Dreams. Yeah, this is going to be our big comeback episode where we sort of, come back from the big defeat we suffered in the previous... I guess it's not really the previous video. I don't know how to deal with this exactly. So, I guess most of you guys who've been following the series probably saw at least the first little bit of the kind of extra part that went up, which was basically just some dull grinding, where I just tried to, I lost the roast fruit, I lost a bunch of other good stuff, so basically I just did a big, long, stupid, boring video where I farmed up a new roast fruit by feeding Barong a million times, and so we've got that back in the inventory to play with. And then in the process of doing that, we've also started building ourselves up a new weapon. We got a new sword and got a few sands on that. So that's, for those of you who took my advice and quit out of the big, long, stupid extra video right at the beginning, that's basically what happened. Is we got a roast fruit, took about... I want to say like 35 minutes to get that, and then took like another 20 minutes to build up a gold sword and get out of the tower because we were an idiot and forgot our wind crystal. That's basically what you missed out on, and also a lot of babbling about PS1 video games and that era of gaming and whatnot, and I got cut short anyways because I found the roast fruit way faster than I was expecting. So anyways, here's the game plan. Literally, I guess. Yeah, our literal game plan, our plan for the game going in to this next run is basically we have kind of a sword, but not really. Gold sword +4 isn't really going to help us to survive as much. Like, we still don't have... We still lost the weapons, which was a big hit, so we aren't really going to be able to reliably get up to that point that we were able to previously, up to the floors where we can pretty much guarantee that we're going to get up to a floor where we're going to get a really good roast fruit monster. So, on the other hand, we have decently farmed up monsters ourselves. So, here's basically the idea now is I'm going to do one run where I don't take the roast fruit into the tower, and I'm just going to take in our regular familiars. Barong won't be making it in this time either. We're going to do our two main dudes, Nyoko and Win. So they're going to be coming with us. And yeah, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do it, kind of test the waters and see exactly see for ourselves exactly how far back that loss of equipment set us. So we're gonna basically see how far we can make it with no good equipment and only our good familiars, essentially. Or I say no good equipment. I think I'm actually, I don't know. Am I gonna take the gold sword? I really don't think it's a good idea. On the other hand, it's not a huge loss, honestly, if we lose it. It's only +4, wouldn't take super long to get it back, and it's not terribly, hugely beneficial. And in fact, yeah, we could find a regular 5-strength sword straight up in the tower. I guess that being said, there's really no point to taking it in anyways. So yeah, we will not hazard the gold sword. We'll just get some pitas. Or actually, we might even want to save the pitas, because if we're for a real run. So okay, we'll put back one pita, and we'll make our next run, our real run, a 2 pita run. So instead of that, Mazar, is that the level up seed? Hazak and Mazar, I forget exactly what those are. Oh, actually, we got a few pitas actually. So, you know what, we'll take a medicinal herb just for safety. We're never going to take that in with us on a real run anyways. I don't even know what that thing's doing in there. So, and yeah, I didn't do any town progress in the extra video either, so that you literally missed nothing other than just farming up a roast fruit and sanding a +4 gold sword. And yeah, we didn't really get anything out of note. Oh, that's not entirely true. I found a Giro Pita, which it turns out is almost a completely useless item. It just, you throw it at a monster and that monster loses all of its MP. And, I mean, I guess it's a good, get rid of a monster, sort of, that's giving you grief, but, an enemy monster, obviously. You're not going to use it on your own familiars, but, I don't know, it was just not an interesting item, but an item I'd never seen before, which I thought was crazy. I thought at this point, I know I've said that a lot of times over the course of this LP, I've never seen that before. And it's just like, it just keeps on happening. This game is so deep and has so much stuff crammed in there. It's just amazing. And also the drop rates for some of the rarer items are also kind of... Yeah, rarer items in this game are kind of ridiculously uncommon, I guess, which I guess is another reason why we keep seeing things that we've never seen before. I actually think... Yeah, I'm not sure that we can 1v1 this guy, so we'll get Nyoko out. I don't remember if I mentioned this in a previous video or something, but I think I recall exactly what the usual old plan was for getting projectile magic on your new pet Newell, essentially. And this feels really familiar. I feel like I've said this before, but I'm not positive, so I'm just gonna repeat myself. Sure, it's not the first time I've repeated myself in the LP. Yeah, basically, I think what I normally did, actually, was I would get a really high-level clown and then fuse that with the Newell. And then what happens there is that the spell... basically, when you fuse a familiar, like a really high-level one, the spell levels on the high-level familiar will transfer over into the new fusion form. And if you use that fruit to avoid having your familiar change its form, you can have your low-level familiar maintain its form when you're fusing your high-level clown into it. And what happens there is you've got your high-level clown with like its level gajillion magic spell, and then like your level 1 familiar suddenly gets like a level 30 projectile magic, and then you can start leveling him up like crazy. And then he's got projectile magic as well, which is really awesome. The caveat with that is because, especially if you're doing with a Newell or any other fire or water monster, is that spell won't ever level up, which is a bit of a downside, but since you got the spell levels on your clown anyways, it's not that big a deal. Oh shit, Ghost is gonna kick our ass, actually. That's not fun. Oh wow, we can actually just avoid him. Ha! Shun! Oh, maybe not. Ah, dang it. Fucking trees. Okay, guess we're gonna have to fight him. Or actually, the smart thing to do if we really want to maintain that perfect record is, yeah, we get Win out as well. And he's the one with the crazy magic. So we get Win out. Wrong button. I'm rusty on the controls. It was, yeah, L. Okay, so we get our command on this. No, not the command. The lineup set, not the lineup, the AI set to back up with magic. That is correct. And then we get our other guy to attack directly. So basically, Nyoko is going to tank for us, and then we're just going to hang back and lightning the shit out of this guy. It's like some fucking Emperor Palpatine shit. Literally, we get the lightning fingers getting on this guy, which is just awesome. Or at least that's the plan. I hope it works. Because, yeah, I think, if you're completely unequipped, level 1, I think this guy can, like, two-shot you. So, that's, But still, even so, though, I'm never one to pass up a challenge. So we'll go with the game plan. The second game plan. The game plan within the game plan. Okay. So, oh god. Okay, so much for the Palpatine lightning. Yeah, Nyoko just kicked the shit out of him straight up. Literally, he just shat out like an herb. No, we didn't get the Wind Crystal, but there will be plenty of time to get the Wind Crystal. Although, yeah, I really should have spent a bit more time on that first floor. Yeah, back. I wanted to be very careful there. There was another thing that I learned in the extra video, which was there's a command that I've never used on the familiar screen, and I'm almost afraid to like even open up the menu to show it to you, because I'm afraid that I'm gonna click on it. But yeah, if you open up the menu, which I'll do right after I murder this fool right here. Oh shit, he's still on direct attack. Oh, actually that's good. Direct attack him. Awesome. But I think the finger will actually save his MP. Actually, I don't really give a shit about his MP now that I think of it, so... Because, yeah, we can just feed him anything, and he'll get backed up to full MP, so let's... Anyways, so yeah, you go to your familiar select, and careful now. You see this return thing right here, and you think, oh, return, I'll put him back in the bag. No, collar puts him back in the bag. It's like collar is like collar and uncollared. If they're collared, then they get uncollared, and if they're not collared, then they'll be collared. You know, it's like a toggle. I can't think of a better way to explain that. You know how collar works. And then what return actually does is it basically gets rid of your familiar and returns him back to the monster hut. And basically just, he leaves the tower. And that's what return does. And I never knew that. I've never ever used that command before. Didn't even know that it existed. Don't even know why you'd want to use it. Unless you're like really desperate for inventory space or something. But, so yeah, that's what that does. So I learned yet another thing about this game that I didn't know before, which was pretty neat. I mean, not really neat at the time, and I literally ended up dying as a result. But it really didn't matter because I just had a bunch of pitas in my inventory anyways. Though I guess long term that actually did end up mattering because now I'm kind of shorter on pitas than I'd like. Pitas are really kind of your number one thing that you want, or I guess not really your number one thing you want in your inventory for a winning run is good monsters. Number two thing is probably a good sword and shield. Distant third, maybe a good spell ball. And then after that, though, is the pitas, because they kind of fuel your monsters. So that's... Oh, hey, red sand. Awesome, we got the sword to go with that. Actually, yeah, if we can just... So anyway, so yeah, like I said, this is kind of a water testing run, just to see how far we can take it with just our familiars and essentially no equipment. Speaking of which, if we get any... I'm so used to, like, actually having... Oh. Did I actually bring it in with me? Am I just an idiot? I could have sworn that I put that back in the vault, but... Okay, I guess the game plan's changing. I would see. What would be great if we had that return command for items. I would love to put like just a regular item and not like a familiar, and just send it back to town, and that would be fantastic. But okay, apparently I'm an idiot, and even though for all my talk about not risking the sword, and actually I guess that being the case though, we can save up some inventory space and just use the red sands as we find them. So, okay, that's something, although we've got to be really, really sure not to die now, and I believe... Yep, we've got the wind crystal, so there is no excuse, unless we run into, like, another paralyzed trap that paralyzes us for, like, 20 turns, like it did on that one losing run. I guess that's kind of one way to think of it, on that one run where I lost everything due to my own stupidity. It's like, really, it's only by luck that I even made it that far anyways. That paralysis easily could have lasted like another 2 or 3 turns, and I just would have died anyways, due to no fault of my own, just the game, like, locking me up and screwing me out of a bunch of items for no good reason. That didn't end up happening, but it very well could have, so we'll just say that, like, that might as well have happened, and that the rest of that tower run didn't even exist. Because it might as well not have. In fact, we're going to retcon that. What really happened, the way that we really lost all our items, is that we got stuck in the paralysis trap and Block beat us to death. And it had nothing whatsoever to do with our stupidity. So yeah, that's the new story. Hopefully this thing will die now. Oh, fuck me. Okay. Oh, good. So familiar is good. That was stupidly risky of me. I don't know what the frick I'm doing when I was just talking about, like, how... it's just in my nature, I guess, where I just do stupid, risky bullshit in video games. It's just, I don't know, a thing. It's like... Yeah, every game I play, and I love games like that too, especially not just video games, but a lot of my favorite board games have kind of, board and card games especially, have kind of like a push your luck element to them. It's just, I don't know, it's a game mechanic that I really enjoy. Just because, it's kind of, even though it's in, especially in this game and, roguelikes in general, it's kind of extremely punishing when you push your luck too far, just try to... Or it's not even it's kind of push your luck. It's like I try to, like, eke out every advantage. It's just like, yeah, we could use the item in this situation to guarantee our safety, or we could save the item and have it for later. It's like you want to... What's the phrase? You can't have your cake and eat it too. So I just choose not to eat the cake so I can still have it for later. And then it fucking rots in my inventory. Next to my freaking corpse after a monster beats the shit out of me because I was too much of a stubborn bastard to just eat the damn cake to save my own life. That analogy really got away from me very quickly. So I'm kind of irritated now because I had this, like I mentioned, it's like There's the exit. Okay, I forgot that we'd seen it. So, like with the previous extra video, it's like I had like this big list of topics because I expected, to be, I expected to be at it for like a good long while, and I guess I was. The video ended up being like close to an hour, but I still didn't get through like most of my discussion topics. So it's like I've got this list of like things to talk about. Well, doing boring stuff in Azure Dreams, and I didn't even get to like go through most of it. So it's like, and I don't even really know. Oops, no, thank you. I don't even really know what to do, because if I just like go back into it, like there's kind of like context and whatnot. Ooh, shield, awesome. Leather shield. If it's cursed, that would really suck. Fuck you. Oh, this is good times again. Now that's the upside. Now that we've lost our good sword and shield, you guys get to have the fun of seeing me put on cursed fucking items all the friggin' time. So yeah, we've got that bit of fun back in the game. So yeah, we have that. Many more of those to look forward to, I'm sure. But anyways, I was kind of like on... Not exact... I don't know what to call it. It's like... I kind of had like a bunch of kind of topics related to like the PS1 era of gaming, and sort of my experience with gaming back in those days, and sort of my thoughts on what's, sort of, the PS1 era as a console, what kind of games it had, I sort of think about the different classics of the time, and just a lot of different stuff. And I got through about half of it, I'd say. And the thing is, I kind of want to continue with it, but then that would make no sense, because I'd have to kind of start from where I left off, which would mean like if you want to get like context for what I'm talking about, you'd kind of have to go watch the bonus video that I honestly don't recommend that you watch. It's really boring. It's just like an hour of like grinding straight up, and it's pretty terrible. So yeah, a bit conflicted on that. Maybe I could just repeat everything that I said in that video, or just like, kind of summarize it, but then that would be like dull, and dull for the people who did actually watch the video. And I say people, I don't know why, I'm just like talking to like about a general audience, as if there's more than like maybe 2 or 3 people who actually been watching the whole series like up to this point. Like, I know you look at the video and it's like, what, 8 views or whatever these things are getting on average. It's like 2 of those are me watching the video when it gets uploaded to like, to do whatever editing, trim out bits of the beginning and the end where I say mark and cut and whatever. And then another bit where I just look at it and just go through the whole thing for like video errors and stuff. So that's 2 videos right there. Some of them are, I don't know, bots or something, or people who stumble on the video by accident and quit watching like less than 10 seconds in. I have that data. I can see that people do that. And then there's like 2 or 3 people who are actually watching the videos to the very end. So it's like when I say like, oh, that wouldn't be fair to these people, but then these people who watched the bonus video, but then it would be not good. This other thing would not be good for the people who didn't watch it. And it's like, I'm really talking about like 2 people, so I might as well just do whatever, and it doesn't even really matter. I guess, anyways, I know, let's actually talk about what we're doing in the game. That's a thought. So actually, a bit more to sort of the game plan. In addition to just testing the waters, and I believe I was about to say this and got sidetracked earlier, is building up our items. Like, we want to find a diamond shield. That is probably like priority number 1. Get a new diamond shield, start building that up. We got plenty of blue sands in the safe at home, so once we get a diamond shield, we can just like farm that up to a decent level right away. That'll be great. Get red sands, apply them to our sword that we apparently brought along like a moron. That'll be, make the most of it. That'll be good that we're able to do that. Do you want to... No? Are you sure? Just, you can... Really? Okay. Wow, if he would have just... Like, can he not go around that corner? And anyway, so yeah, building up our stuff. And then also another thing would be to just get some more monster eggs. Like, that was the other really unfortunate thing that I lost in the big, stupid brainwashed dragon kills me run, is where I had good eggs, and I'd kind of like to get them back. So, I mean, there's not really anything I can do to sort of, like, I'm not grinding the tower for eggs, certainly. There's, like, I mean, I guess in a sense, every tower run is kind of grinding the tower for eggs, and that you just... Every single run, you look around for them, and if you find them, great, but if not, you know, it's to be expected that you won't find the great eggs, because like I said, the really good shit in this game is insanely uncommon. Do we have truth glasses? We do. It's probably not a good familiar, but, you know, this early in the tower, but, yeah, and it's Minova. And, just annoying. That's probably the biggest criticism I'd have of this game overall, is that just, the rarity of the monster eggs. It's just some monster eggs are just, like, super common. Like, we've seen, like, how many frickin' Minovas and Cyclones and all that shit, and it's just, like, and clowns and whatnot. And it's like, sure, I guess clown is a good familiar, so at least one of those super common ones is actually good. But it's like, it kind of wears on me, like, after multiple playthroughs. It's like, every single playthrough I do of this game, I see the same monsters every time, and then I'll see, like... And I guess that's kind of part of the excitement, is because like, at every playthrough, I'll also see, like, maybe 2 or 3, like, brand new rare monsters that I've never seen before, so I guess that's kind of exciting, and I guess I kind of like that element to it, but on the other hand, like, it's still really annoying to keep seeing those other, like, same monsters all the friggin' time, like, how many Minovas and Blooms and whatever. I don't know. I wish there were a bit more diversity in just the monster egg drops in general. That would be really nice. Not a huge complaint. Like I said, there's kind of an upside to it in that it's super duper exciting when you do find something neat. But, yeah, when seed is not useful. Might as well get a backup wind crystal just in case. What's his name? Polinpa? Not Polinpa. Shit, I'm blanking on monster names now. Picket, that's the one who steals your items. So yeah, I always want the backup wind crystal just on the off chance that Picket screws things up for you. So,